I'm trying to find you, but where did you go?
Hello. Hi, welcome back. You're watching RileyEverAfter. I am Naughty the Rose.
My name's Nas the Leader.
So, as you can tell by the title of the video, today we will be talking about premarital counseling, the pros and the cons. So, first we'll start off with what exactly is premarital counseling?
So pretty much premarital counseling is the counseling you get before you get married. You could speak with the actual counseling service, or maybe like your pastor, or any services that they may have. Basically, anybody who's married or has specialization in marriage that can help you think of all the things or pros and cons of marriage that y'all should be aware about before you step into it.
Yeah, or a time where you can talk about any major or minor issue that needs to be discussed prior to you actually getting married. So we did do a few months of premarital counseling before we got married. I think it was about 9 months of premarital counseling. And in my opinion, it helped some. What did you think?
I mean, yeah, it helped. I think we already kind of had an idea about some of the things we talked about, but it was still good hearing stuff from people who've been married, because you really don't know until you get into it.
So as we approach this topic and we asked people, I got a lot of feedback that a lot of people did not get premarital counseling before they got married, and some did, but a lot didn't. Even in the church, a lot didn't get premarital. A lot of people didn't get premarital counseling before tying the knot, which was surprising to me. But when I asked, why or why not, they gave some really good answers.
I don't know, I just was always like, at least as far as faith, like to seek wise counsel. Like, if you about to buy your first car, you might want to go to somebody who's bought their first car and just kind of get that wisdom of how to go about it before you just run on a lot and just be like, well, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like just getting the wisdom from somebody who's been through it, or at least, speak with somebody who can guide me on how the best way to go about it would be.
We did our premarital counseling with a pastor and his first lady. They were not our pastors. They were I guess it would be like a sister church of the church we attended at the time. And they were very close to Najee. I didn't know them personally, but he knew the pastor very well. And so we decided to do it with them. I think we met 1 to 2 times a month for 9 months, where we watched videos, had deep discussion about different topics. We did a lot. I did like the fact that it was a wife and husband counseling us. Now they do have, well, I guess not now, but always, they do have individual counselors, and then they do have couple counseling. We've been to both. I do prefer the husband and wife counseling for marriage counseling, but I think it's everyone's own preference.
Yeah, I think it's cool to have both perspectives in there too, because as you know, they say the main reason for divorce is communication issues. So just the fact that as men and women, we interpret and we communicate differently. So how you say something, I might receive it a different way. So just hearing both sides of that and then just trying to apply that, or at least get your mind wrapped around, like, okay, what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dating, you kind of get it, but then when you make that decision to make this for life, and then you're trying to start families and stuff, and communication, and we're learning even now like how important communication is. And it's not just me saying something and just assuming that you get it, but it's like it matters how they receive it. So you gotta communicate in the way they will understand, not just say how you feel, if that makes sense.
So now that we did a little bit of what is premarital counseling, let's go ahead and get into the pros and the cons of it. Couples that take premarital counseling are 8 times more likely to stay together than couples who don't. That's something that I was reading and I was really shocked by it because I didn't know. So that would definitely be a pro of taking premarital counseling, you know, your relationship has a higher chance to actually last and not end up in divorce.
I guess with premarital counseling, it helps you to realize like exactly what marriage is, because I feel like that, even that word is kind of blurred. It's like, oh, I like you, you like me, let's get married. But it's more like you making a covenant, like with like you and that person and God, and then like this gonna be the person you start your family with. And it is no like, okay, 10 years, that was a good run, but you know, now let's call it a day. Now, like this is like, you know, really like the only person you're gonna be with for good. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a big decision to make. You know what I'm saying? And realizing, you know, you might want to think, you know, are you really willing to do this for life? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to end up having children and having to split a family by maybe making a decision that you could have made better or a different timing. So I feel like that's a lot of things that we deal with just in the body and just in the world, period.
Another pro to premarital counseling, I know he said it earlier today, but communication, because I know that, you know, we talk and you understand, like, you know, when you're talking to your spouse or your future spouse, you know, you're like, okay, well, we don't have a problem communicating. We know what we're saying, or we talk about our issues and all of that. But premarital counseling is going to really allow you to communicate on a deeper level and bring up some issues that you probably didn't know that you had just on the surface. Because a lot of people, us included, when we got married, we thought we knew everything about each other and we knew how we were going to handle situations. But thinking about how you're going to handle situations and then those situations arising and handling it are two different things. And I know premarital counseling gave us a good reference point of how we were going to handle these situations. Now, did we stick to everything we said in premarital counseling? Absolutely not. But but it was a good starting point for us to have those communication, you know, to be able to communicate with each other and to learn a little bit how to communicate more effectively with each other.
I was also going to say, because with that being said, you know, they definitely gave us the like big flag, like communication, and you like, okay, communication, like we talk, like you were saying, but you realize like talking to each other and communicating with each other is actually two different things. You can actually be talking to somebody and they're saying something back, but y'all still aren't communicating, because like either you're just talking and not listening, or you're listening and not talking.
And a big thing about that one, just to clarify for you all, talking to each other is like I'm talking to you guys. My voice is being heard, his voice is being heard. Communicating is a whole nother thing. Communicating means he fully understands what I am saying. And like an example we have in our marriage is late at night I'll say, oh, I'm hungry, or I wish I had some ice cream, or something like that. And we're talking, like, you know, we're talking.
Foolish.
That's what I'm saying. But he understands that to be, please go get me something to eat. Please go get me some ice cream. Now, what I said versus how he took it is two different things. So when I say I'm hungry, he could just be like, oh, okay, me too. But, you know, communicating, that means he understands that when I say I'm hungry, that means I want you to go get me something to eat. Like, that's communicating. Knowing what the other person is saying or displaying, or whether they say it outright or not, is communicating.
Also, you don't just communicate with words. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Body language, facial expression, you know. I could look across the room, you know what I'm saying, and like have this look and she know I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then we can communicate and no, that's communicating, but then we can really talk about the situation. But when I gave her that look, I communicated that no, I'm not okay. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
So, hop right into the cons. For me, a big con that I didn't even know was a con until, you know, years after. the biggest con for me as far as premarital counseling is you may not get an effective counselor. And that's just the truth. All counselors, even pastors, and I know they're like, oh, not the pastor and first lady, but even pastors and first ladies or deacons or whoever the church may have doing the premarital counseling, they may not be effective counselors. And if you don't have effective counselors, then you're really not going to resolve anything, or the things you do resolve, they're all going to be surface issues. They're not going to be correcting dysfunctional behavior or analyzing your expectations of marriage. They may not have actually gone to school to do counseling, which not saying that you have to have gone through school to be a counselor. There are a lot of my mother-in-law, there are a lot of people that can give great marital advice without going to school. But when you're doing something as serious as premarital counseling, you're going to want to make sure you and your future spouse have chosen an awesome counselor or awesome team of counselors to do this. Who you choose to counsel you for this will make or break it.
So did you feel like we had bad counselors?
I didn't feel like we had bad counselors. We had really, really good counselors. I would highly recommend them to anyone, but just listen to the feedback that I got from a lot of people.
Okay, you're going from other people's
we had great counselors.
So I was about to say, hopefully Uncle T and Latrilla don't look at this. We love y'all.
We had perfect counselors. But just listening to some of the stories of people that did premarital counseling, it was like, oh, okay, y'all, counselor, who you choose to be your counselor could definitely make or break you.
Definitely.
Another con to premarital counseling is the cost. If you do not go through your church, or if you go through a counseling, professional counselors, they can get expensive, and not all health insurance cover counselors. So you're looking at $50 to $150 per session. And a lot of people, especially in the midst of planning a wedding, do not have that to spend. So that's another con to the premarital counseling. Did you have any more?
Any more cons?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't have any cons, because we had a good experience. So everybody can't say that, but for me, it was just like, it worked really well for us.
Anything else?
No, we good. Unless y'all have any other questions, then drop the comments down below.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe.
Feel free to comment any more questions you may have, or any videos that we can help you guys with. Like I said all the time, we're here for you all. We didn't have this kind of support. Well, we had support, but not from our peers answering our questions and really knowing much about marriage or family, or just being young and doing this. So we're here to help you guys out. If you have any questions you want to ask that necessarily isn't about husband and wife, maybe you have boyfriend girlfriend questions, motherhood, fatherhood questions, school, I'm in school, he was in school, just whatever, let us know. That's what we're here for. We've been enjoying the feedback that we've gotten from our other videos. I know we have been slacking on posting videos, because this was supposed to be every Friday, and we are behind, but hopefully you guys will be back up to date and giving you guys new content every Friday. So just be checking on that, and y'all pray for us, because it's hard for us to find this time to do this, but we love doing it. So that'll be all for me. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, make sure you share the video. Also, you need to share the videos too. We're gonna work on getting the social media presence and everything too.
Well, we have the Instagram. I should let him take over Twitter, because I'm not a big Twitter person. And we rarely do Instagram because I am the one that takes all the photos, and
I could be killing your Instagram, man.
he could, because I take photos, but they're not like you guys, like, you know, you guys photos. There's like us hanging out in our bonnets and stuff, so
We want to see that. We want
y'all
to see the
don't
behind the
want to see
scenes.
this here, no.
That's fine. All right, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.
All right, we will see you guys next Friday, and like always, this is RileyEverAfter.
Hey, looking good.
And you're gonna have what?
Well, go ahead. Okay. All right, don't forget to like this. Okay, hold on. Wait, what was it? Like, what, and subscribe?
Like, comment,
Like,
subscribe,
comment, subscribe. Okay.
share.